Right, so I'm going to start with problem number 1 and problem number 2 for this example. So the first thing that we want to do is prime factors for 44 and 56. So I'm going to use a factor tree on 44 to get this done, as you've seen in the answer key if you've looked at that. So 44, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask myself what are two numbers that are factors of 44. So I can easily come up with 4 and 11. Now 4 is not prime, but 11 is. So I'm going to circle that, and then I'm going to break down 4. And 4 is a product of 2 and 2. And so I'm going to circle both of those because they're prime. So the prime factorization with exponential notation, I have 2 as a factor, and I have 11 as a factor. And there are 1, 2 factors of 2, so an exponent of 2 goes on to the 2. Now I'm going to do 56 in a little bit different manner. I'm going to use a division to do 56's prime factorization. So you have to start out with a prime number in order to get this method done. So I'm going to start with 2 since how 56 is an even number. So 2 goes into 56, 2 goes into 5 2 times, and that's going to give you 4. And then 1 left over, and then you bring down the 6, so that's 16, and 2 goes into 16 8 times. Now that's not a prime number, so I'm going to do the division again. 28 is again even, so I'm going to do a 2. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times. Again, 14 is not prime, so I'm going to do another division. 2 goes into 14 7 times. And since 7 is prime, I'm done. And the stair steps here is your prime factorization. So for 56, we have 2 as a factor, and we have 7 as a factor. And there's 1, 2, 3 factors of 2, so an exponent on 3 of that. So these are prime factorizations of 44 and 56. Now the next question, problem number 2, asks us to find the least common denominator using these prime factorizations. So there's a couple of ways this can be done. We can actually make a little table here, and we can talk about all of the factors that I see here, which I see 2's, and I see 7's, I see 7's, and I see 11's. And then I have 44, and I have 56. And 44 is 2 times 2, and then times 11. So you see across here you get the product of the number here. And then 56 is 2 times 2 times 2, and then it has a factor of 7. So again, you see the products here that make 56. Now what we do is we look down in our columns, this column here, this column here, and this column here, and what you're looking for is you're looking for the largest number of factors in each column. So we have 2 factors here and 3 here, so I'm going to circle this one. Here I have 0 and I have 1, so I'm going to circle this one. And here I have 1 and 0, so I'm going to circle this one. So the least common denominator is going to be made up of 2 to the 3rd power, that's 2 times 2 times 2, times 7, and then times 11. So this would be 8 times 11, and 8 times 11 is 88, and then times 7. So we have 88 times 7, so I can either grab a calculator or do that by hand. So 88 times 7, 8 times 7 is 56, carry the 5, and then 8 times 7 is 56 plus 5 more is going to be 61, and so my least common denominator is 616. So those are those two first ones, and that's how you find the prime factorization.